Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to touch on sort of a heady topic or a deep topic, the ephemeral nature of life or the evanescence of life, the fact that we can leave our life at any moment and nobody knows when they're going to go. I want to share a story that I hope will help you to immediately cherish the people around you and appreciate this day, because tomorrow is not granted to anybody. Now this is a video I've wanted to make for a few weeks because there is an acquaintance of mine. I didn't know him particularly well, but he suddenly passed and it really shocked my wife and I. And I want to talk a little bit about this man because I believe he deserves to be remembered. So this man, humble, down to earth, he was a repairman who from time to time would come to our home to fix things. He was about my height, maybe a few inches under 6 feet, slim, pretty energetic and active. He smoked a lot, and I knew he drank, but like I said, very slim, very active, always fixing everything around our neighborhood. Anybody who needed help, he seemed like he could fix anything. Lights, pipes, plumbing, AC units, door handles, wheels, you name it. He was a great repairman, sort of a jack of all trades type guy. And his personality was warm and humorous and sly. He liked to crack jokes. He acknowledged people. He was one of those people who knows how important it is to slow down, make eye contact, and acknowledge someone. He was always very busy, but he would always connect with us for a few minutes. Sometimes my wife would give him some baked goods, and I would pour a little tea and he would have some tea with us while he was fixing something, and we would chat and we would get to know each other. So he was like that. He was very much a human being who was in touch with life and loved people. And I know he was a family man and he had kids, at least one kid, possibly two. He always showed great kindness to our family and to our children, and he was getting, in the process of getting to know us. And whenever I would see him on the roads, we would wave, smile, say hello, sometimes stop to chat. And so just all around, just a really good guy. Well, he came to our home one day to repair our AC, and he did the best that he could, and he said, well, it seems like it's working for now. If it gives you any more trouble, just call me, I'll come right back, but I think it should be good. And my wife always remembers that sentence because it was the last sentence we ever heard from him. He was going to die a couple days later, maybe 2-3 days later. It happened quite suddenly. So a couple days later, an auntie who sometimes babysits for us, helps us to babysit our children, she came and she told us sort of by the by that he had suddenly passed. The rumor was that he drank too much and that's what caused his death in that moment. Maybe he had gone out drinking that night. I do not know if that's true, but I think it could be probable because I know he was a guy who liked to drink and smoke and socialize. I could see him possibly in the evenings going out to do that, maybe have some Chinese style barbecue or whatever. A lot of guys like to do that, but I really don't know the truth of how he passed, but I do know that he passed suddenly, and that shocked a lot of us who knew him because he was so warm and a lot of us were friends with him. But it really shocked us, it really saddened us because, well, among many things we knew, he was a family man, he was a father, he had kids, we had talked about his kids. Just imagine, he's probably late 40s, I'm guessing. I don't think he was 50 yet. He might have been. He did look kind of young, maybe younger than he really was. So maybe he was like 47, 48, I don't know. But just imagine that man's wife, imagine that man's children just finding out suddenly that their father, their husband is gone, ripped away from them, no chance to say goodbye. A co-worker of his who I also know and met on the road, like another repairman, he told me that the family had already come around to the company and collected his belongings. And I'm thinking, what a tragedy, what a sad thing that your family has to come and pick up your stuff and never get the chance to say goodbye to you. And who knows what kind of state his family is left in financially now, because, like I said, he's blue collar worker, down to earth. He's a repairman. And how much money could he really be making? And now suddenly, the very likely the breadwinner of the family is gone. So it's a great, great tragedy. And, I don't want to criticize that man. And again, I don't know how he passed. But if it was through alcohol, I think it's an important lesson for us all to consider that the next time you take that drink, it could be your last. You might be thinking, oh, I'm just having another beer like usual with my friends, and then who knows, something goes wrong. I don't know how that works. I don't know if you have a heart attack or your liver explodes. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. Or maybe you get drunk and you fall down and you hit your head, or you get hit by a car or something. That drink could be your last. That smoke could be your last. You might get diagnosed with a condition that's going to end your life. Why take the chance? Why bother with it, especially when you have people that you love surrounding you? You can't take that risk. You can't be a liability. You have to do everything you can to reduce the riskiness of those types of behaviors. And this is why when my daughter was born, it encouraged me, even though I was never big into drinking or smoking, I've never done drugs, I thought I need to reduce all of those things to zero if I'm serious about these people who I say that I love, my wife and my kids. Just can't do it anymore. It's simply not worth the risk. Something really silly and stupid could happen. Like I said, you get drunk and fall down and hit your head on the curb or something, or you black out. You're just having a little too much fun, you have one too many drinks, and now your life's over. It's just not even worth it. It's just like getting in a car and not wearing a seatbelt or something like that. Like, wear a seatbelt. Heck, that's another crazy story that happened just the other day, which I'll just tack on here really quick. I went for a Didi ride, which is basically a Chinese Uber. Went for a Didi ride the other day. I was wearing my seatbelt, but one of my friends was not. And the driver, luckily at a low speed, ran into a fence, destroyed the right side of his car. We went over the bases of this fence, where the fence connects to the bases on the road. He ruined his front wheel, scratched up the side, had to get it towed. But my friend hadn't been wearing his seatbelt, and he was launched up to the roof at like 15 miles per hour when this guy went over this fence, and the wheels went over this strong base to a fence post. So just try to eliminate these things which could end your life. It's just not worth it. Find some other pursuits which don't have that level of risk and which build you up, okay? But to come back again, the main thing I want you to remember about this man is how nice he was, how much of a good man he was. And even though his station in life, we could say, is maybe a bit lower than most, he probably transformed more people than most, if you know what I mean. So I want you to remember him positively. You don't know his name, you don't know his face, but just remember that he was a human being, and he transformed people, and he was a family man. And, he's an avatar. That person, that man, it could be you. What happened to him could happen to anyone. So I hope you take away the meaning from this message and go out there and live your best life. Reconnect with the people you love, and don't engage in any behaviors that could potentially end your life early. All right, I'll see you back here next time. Bye-bye for now.